Man, talk about an overhaul of a division. Giants, Redskins, and Cowboys all starting fresh this year at the head coaching spot, which makes Doug Peterson, by process of elimination, the longest tenured NFC East coach with a whopping 4 years of experience. Interesting note, though, seeing as how his Eagles are the defending champs. This division, DeAngelo Hall, has not had a back-to-back winner since 2004. So history tells us that one of the new guys has a pretty good shot winning this division next year. Whose chances do you like the best?
You know, I would love to sit here and say my Washington Redskins. But, man, just looking at the talent and the way I thought this Dallas Cowboys team was supposed to perform last year, I think when you bring in a guy like Mike McCarthy, a proven winner with that offense and just the way he communicates with his players and what he'll be able to get out of that group of talent that they have in Dallas, I think it's probably a no-brainer to say the Dallas Cowboys are probably at the top of this list, then followed by Doug Peterson. And my Redskins aren't in the typical spot of last place. I think I'm going to reserve that spot for the Giants, just because, I heard Sean O'Hara talk about all the positive things Coach Judge has been able to do, but that's in New England. And when you have Coach Belichick, who's in charge, and that message is being received from him, I think the guys tend to fall in line a little bit better when it's Coach Belichick. Coach Judge is going to have to come in and kind of create his own culture, atmosphere. Like I said earlier, I think this young Giants roster will embrace that, but we've yet to really figure out who Coach Judge will be. You
have to establish your own credibility.
Yes,
it's not necessarily transferable. Speaking of the Cowboys, who you like to win it next year, I know you liked Jason Garrett for the head coaching job in New York.
I did.
That obviously didn't happen. Should they consider him as a possible offensive coordinator candidate?
Look, I don't think he should want to go there. Coach Garrett has had a lot of success for the Dallas Cowboys in this league, in this division. I thought it would have been a natural transition for him to take this job. He knows this division. He knows that football team.
Knows the Cowboys.
I know he knows the Cowboys. The Giants decided to go another way with Coach Judge. And, I thought Jason Garrett would have been the perfect choice. I don't like him as the play caller. He was almost demoted from calling plays in Dallas for, a more young Kellen Moore to kind of come in and, just kind of change things up a little bit, give it a more fresh look. I want Coach Garrett to go home, spend some time with your family, man. You had a nice coaching career in Dallas. Not saying this is the end for you, Coach Garrett. I think you still got some years left in you, but take a year off, enjoy that time with the family, and just relax.
We'll have Jane Slater do a feature on the Garrett Project next year in the offseason because it worked for Mike McCarthy. Going to be an interesting year in the NFC East. Then again, it always is. The Eagles, this year's winner, out of the playoffs as of Sunday, thanks in part to a beast.
Hey, remember, patience, smooth to the hole, gas.
Marshawn Lynch, he takes a handoff, he stops, he cuts back inside down to the, he's still in, he's in for a touchdown. Marshawn Lynch, touchdown, Seahawks.
We back in the playoffs, baby. I see you, big dog. There you go, man. Good job, fellas. Good job, man.
You can't let me in, so it's too much age between it. You got to sit and break up the age. Come on. He got to get some of this game. All right. Don't that feel better? We don't feel like I felt like we was in a senior citizen home.
Marshawn always filling up the microphones on the sideline, not so much in the news conferences.
He missed this game, man.
Yeah,
Can't you tell?
Dude,
he missed this game.
2 games back, he has 2 touchdowns in those 2 games so far.
Man.
All right. Let's talk about this Seahawks-Packers game at Lambeau Field. For the highest quality hot takes, I always turn to the real Mike Robb reports.
Thank you, brother.
Give me a key to the game for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, we're going to start off with the Green Bay Packers. First and foremost, get the ball to Aaron. And I'm not talking about Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Aaron Jones, get it to him in the run game and in the passing game. This guy had over 1,000 yards rushing this year and's got 16 rushing touchdowns.
Thank you very much.
And also in the passing game, get him in some of those one-on-one matchups with KJ Wright, the linebacker for the Seattle Seahawks. See if he can win some of those matchups. He also has 3 reception touchdowns this year. So for all of that, you have to feed the ball to Aaron Jones. And number 2, attack the interior of this Seattle Seahawks offensive line. DJ Fluker, Joey Hunt, those guys, Fletcher Cox made you guys look pretty bad said last week. Now, we're talking about Fletcher Cox. He's an all-pro and all-pro everything.
A lot of people.
Yeah, not everybody has a Fletcher Cox on their team, but they do have Kenny Clark. They do have the Smith brothers. Get after Russell Wilson by doing your stunts inside, so that way the guard and the center have to pick you up. And number 3, limit the explosive passing plays of Russell Wilson. I mean, he's the best thrower of the deep ball in our game, right?
Yeah.
You have all of these guys on the outside. If you can limit the explosive passing of Russell Wilson, you give yourself the best chance to win.
Yeah, back to the Aaron Jones point that you made, 16 rushing touchdowns. He caught 3 rushing touchdowns as well this year, so the dual threat out of the backfield, which you illustrated. Okay, that's with your head. Now tell me a key to the game with your heart. The team that you have emblazoned on your Super Bowl championship ring.
Yeah, I got a ring. I got a ring with them.
What's the key for this iteration of the Seahawks?
Well, first and foremost, all my Seahawks fans, get off my Twitter. I'm not hating on Seattle.
Are they
be
blowing
me up
okay.
like I don't got love for Seattle. I got plenty of love for Seattle. All right, but I'm going to give you my keys to how you're going to win this game. Number 1, Russell Wilson's going to have to use his legs, guys. I think Russell Wilson will probably have to get close to 100 yards rushing. Shh, don't tell nobody, but I do think he's going to have to get close to 100 yards running the football to open some things up downfield. And then number 2, feed DK Metcalf. Look at that catch right there. That's a grown man right there. Move him around, get him all over the place, and maybe you can create some space in the middle of that field. And then number 3, Jadeveon Clowney, he has to be disruptive. Put him in a position to win. I don't care if it's standing up as a 3 technique. I don't care if it's on the second level as a linebacker. Put him in a position so that he wins. A lot of his impact doesn't show up on the box score. He's very disruptive, and he opens up a lot of opportunities for other guys on that defense.
I know you're talking about Clowney like that. Some Philadelphia Eagles fans are going to tweet you now about that one there.
I'm sorry. You know, I didn't do it. I didn't hit Carson Wentz.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That happens. Hey, great matchups on divisional weekend. This is the only quarterback, Super Bowl champ, head-to-head matchup of divisional weekend. All right, up next here on NFL Today. So looks like these are 2 of the most unstoppable players in football. Derrick Henry coming off a game where he bulldozed the New England Patriots. You have a plan, though, Emrod, for the Baltimore defense to stop this big hoss here?
Yeah, that graphic you just put up, right? You know, outside the numbers, right? Lamar Jackson, he gets his running by doing the read option. Derrick Henry, they do this outside zone running scheme, and I have some tape to show you guys how the Baltimore Ravens can possibly stop this outside run scheme. First of all, you look at right here, quick penetration. You put the tackle of the tight end in the backfield. It forces Derrick Henry to put his foot in the ground, possibly before he wants to, and then as a defense, you have to rally to the football. You look at right here, 3 technique, Calais Campbell. Boom, you get the quick penetration on the center, and you force Derrick Henry to either cut back or get tackled in the backfield. You cannot let this big 265-pound of a man, you can't get him going toward the line of scrimmage. All of his big runs, you see him in the backfield 10 yards deep, and it's almost like he doesn't even get touched as he enters the line of scrimmage.
If that train gets on the tracks,
you don't want to stand in front of him. You don't want to stand in front of him.
Get him in the first 4 or 5 strides.
There you go.
Because if he gets that head of steam, you're asking for 5-10 yards after yards on contact there. But I'll tell you this, he had over 200 all-purpose yards in the New England game. The offense for Tennessee in that game only scored 14 points. They're going against Baltimore's offense, who scores over 30 a game, the number 1 most potent offense.
That's all they needed to score.
You're right.
They won the game, right?
That's true, and the defense added a pick six there.
You know, if Tom Brady would have put up a bunch of points, I'm assuming that Tennessee would have responded. I mean, I don't know, right?
They needed to. They would have had to.
Yeah, okay. By the way, Lamar Jackson, not only one of the best football players in the game, he's one of the most likable players in the game. We're going to sit down with him one-on-one, Steve Smith Sr., with an exclusive interview Saturday morning, noon Eastern, NFL Game Day morning. Saturday at noon. Check it out. The Titans-Ravens game is the late game on Saturday. Kickoff is slated for 8:15 Eastern. The other AFC divisional round game is the Texans at the Chiefs. That game kicks Sunday, little after 3 o'clock Eastern. That is a rematch from a game that was played in Week 6. The Texans put up 31 points in the win in that one. But, DeAngelo, I want to know from you, how has the Chiefs' defense improved since then? Because it has.
Oh, yeah, they've improved. I mean, they aren't giving up a lot of yards. They're keeping guys out the end zone. They're getting turnovers. And the way they've been doing that is with this front. This front led by Chris Jones, new all-pro Chris Jones, as well as Tyrann Mathieu on the back end. Let me show y'all a little bit. Look at Chris Jones's get off. I'm going to pause it right here. Look at this. He is already touching the center and nobody else is even close.
Ball's not even back to the quarterback.
And then he continues to show you why he's such a dynamic force in the pass rush
double
game.
team.
Bam. Hey, look, that was one guy on him. Tennessee, we saw what they were able to do to New England. They put 2 guys on Chris Jones. Doesn't matter. Still is able to get that pressure. Chris Jones, along with the rest of these guys up front, is the reason this back end isn't giving up a whole lot of points. Talked about Tyrann Mathieu. Watch this crafty football player. He's in man coverage, but why am I covering the post when he's going to the post safety? Rolls right off because film study told him that's what they love to run. He's not even covering his man and goes and makes